Your BMI is 18.57, and it says their units you are classified as normal. My name is Eunice Adewusi Climiradi, and I am an intern at Oasis Infobyte as a Python developer intern. And this is my last Python project, which is a BMI calculator. It contains a short Python script, so I'm going to take us through the README first, and then I'm going to take us through the code. So welcome to my demo video. Make sure to watch my other two demo videos that I made. One was the voice assistant project, and the other was the random password generator. So according to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, body mass index, which is known as BMI, is a person's weight in kilograms divided by the square of height in meters. And a high BMI can indicate high body fatness. BMI also screens for weight categories that may lead to health problems, but it does not diagnose the body fatness or health of an individual. It just categorizes you based on the results it gets from your height and from your weight calculation, right? So this project now is a command line BMI calculator that of course is written in Python. So it prompts the user to enter their weight in kilograms and their height in meters, and it calculates their BMI and classifies them into categories based on the results it gets from the calculation. So the features of this BMI is that it is user-friendly, very simple, straight to the point. It validates user input for weight and height. It handles error correctly to make sure that the user enters positive numbers only. It calculates BMI using the standard formula, which we're going to be seeing later. And then it classifies the BMI, whether you are underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obesity. And now onto the code. This is the first function right here, which is the get user input function, and it is called a helper function. That is, it's just a small function that is designed to perform a specific task. And this function is used multiple times within a larger program. And as we move on, you see that I kept on calling the get user input function, which shows that it's a helper function. So what this function does is that it simplifies the process of getting and validating user input. And then I use this parameter here called input type, and I defined it as float, which means that whatever input that the user will be giving the BMI calculator, it's going to convert it into float, that is into decimal numbers. And it's likely that whatever input that the user puts, it's going to be a string. So what this parameter does is that it converts that string into a decimal number, which is the float. And then for beginners who might be watching this video, probably while you were learning about OOP, you saw that the first parameter always passed this self. But right here you are seeing prompt. This prompt right here is just a parameter to pass a string that will be shown to the user when asking for input. So the using of self is typically used in the context of class methods in Python, and it refers to the instance of the class. But since this get user function right here is a standalone function and not a method of any class right here in the code, self is not appropriate to use here, which is why I just use prompt. I introduced a while loop right here, and I also use the except block for error handling, so that whatever, like initially we said input type, converts whatever prompt that the user enters, it's going to convert it into a float. And then this raise error statement here is used to trigger this exception right here. Say that user enters maybe a value like this code says right here, less than or equal to 0. We'll tell them to enter a positive number starting from 1 and all of that. Then this is a function here that just calculates the BMI using the formula. So if you remember in the definition by CBC, that says BMI is calculated just by the weight and the height. So this is the formula right here. And then there is this other function which is to classify the BMI. These are just different categories of BMI, right? Underweight means that your BMI value is less than 16.0. That means you are underweight, and it's classified as severe thinness. So whatever the result that this function gets right here, if it is less than 16, then that means you're underweight and you're suffering from severe thinness. There is this other function right here, which is like the main function or the primary logic of the BMI calculator, and that's what it basically does. Introduced a while loop here, which is run when the user selects yes. So if the user selects a yes, the code will run all over again and the user would be able to calculate another BMI. But if they select no, the while loop is going to break, and then it's going to tell you thank you for using the BMI calculator, goodbye. You see right here, there is a strip.lower method right here. The strip method just removes any leading and trailing white space characters from the input string. So what this just means is that if the user enters maybe a space before the yes and a space after the yes, or it could be two spaces, right, it's just going to automatically convert the user's input to a solid yes, right? And then what this .lower method does is that it converts all characters in the string to lowercase, something that your computer or your program can understand. Now I'm going to be running the program. First, you're going to get a message, welcome to the BMI calculator. Then it asks you for your name. It prompts you for your name. My name is Eunice, and it says, hello Eunice, enter your weight in kilograms. So the last time I checked was 2023, and at that time I was 55.4, and my height last I checked was 5'8". So you have to, that was in inches of course, so I have to convert it to meters, and this is the conversion in meters. And it says your BMI is 18.57, and it says there Eunice, you are classified as normal weight. So right now it asks me, do you want to calculate another BMI? And I say yes. Then it asks me for what's my name. So there's a friend of mine that I calculated as earlier. Her name is Alan. And it says, hello Alan, enter your weight in kilograms. Alan was 54 kg, I think. Then our height was 1.59 meters. So it says, dear Alan, you are classified as normal weight. And if it says, do you want to calculate another BMI program? And I say no, it says, thank you for using the BMI calculator, goodbye. And it ends the program. So right now, I'm just going to put in random values, and let's see if it's going to give me another categorization. So let me use Emma, and it says enter your weight in kilograms. I say I'm 65 kg. Enter your height in meters. Probably let me write 0, so we'll see how it handles error. So you can see when I entered my height at 0 meters, it says invalid input, please enter a positive number, and then it gives me the prompt again to enter my height in meters. So let's say I don't know. I'm just gonna put a random number. So centimeters, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, it says your BMI is 0.12. Dear Emma, you are classified as underweight, and the categorization of the underweight is severe thinness. So this just means it works right. So you can see that the code works. Something I forgot to mention earlier was this part here where it says your BMI is this. So if you can see, I did BMI and then there's a colon, then dot, that's like the variable, like the BMI variable, right? So I added 2.2f, which just prints out the BMI values, and it formatted like the response to 2 decimal places, because I realized that when I was initially getting responses from the program, it will give you your BMI results in like 5 to 7 decimal places. So I didn't want that, and I formatted it to 2 decimal places. And if you can see from the responses here, it gave the BMI in 2 decimal places, 0.12. And there is another, oh, I thought I exited this, so no, thank you very much, goodbye YouTube. Thank you so much for watching my demo video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Yeah, and again, the link to the source code is going to be in the description. You can connect to me on GitHub. My links will also be in the description. If you have any task that you would like me to code out and make a demo video, please let me know in the comments. And if there is also any project that you would like us to work together on, be it front end, be it Python, just hit me up. My email is also in my link, so you can send me an email or you can just send me a DM on LinkedIn.